Every year, military weapons become more advanced as each country tries to stay one step ahead of each other. This means a constantly growing number of astounding and terrifying innovations in the machines soldiers hold in their hands every day. Here are some of the most futuristic and advanced weapons, if you're brave enough to look. Phaser Rifle. Some of the most advanced weapons aren't made for taking out the enemy, but instead are used in more creative ways to incapacitate ground troops. The Personnel Halting and Stimulation Response Rifle, or Phaser, is an ingenious rifle designed to completely disorient your enemies. Despite the UN banning laser weapons used to blind soldiers, this one gets around the laws very cleverly using a two-wave laser which only temporarily blinds their target, unlike older laser guns which would permanently blind people. The safety of this gun means that not only soldiers will be using it, but probably police as well. The very futuristic weapon, which was almost certainly named after the Star Trek weapon, not only temporarily blinds people, but disorients them so much they're unlikely to stay standing. You try fighting without being able to see or stand up. Nobody who encounters this clever laser gun will be winning any fights. Corner Shot Rifle. Imagine you're fighting in a town which is under siege. You know your enemies are just around the corner of the wall you're sheltering behind, but they have their guns trained on you. How do you shoot them without getting shot when you peek out from behind the wall to aim? The Corner Shot Rifle has very cleverly solved this problem. It's a more advanced version of some of its predecessors, like the periscope rifle used in trench warfare in World War I and the curved barrel rifle attachments used by the Germans in World War II. The Corner Shot has a 60-degree hinge bend in the center with the pistol mounted on the front with a camera, and a flashlight at the bayonet position with the screen showing what the camera sees, along with some more controls and trigger on the butt end which can stay safely behind the wall with you while still allowing you to aim and fire. A semi-automatic pistol comes standard, but you can make the weapon even more deadly by instead attaching an assault pistol rifle or even a 40mm grenade launcher. You can bet the enemy won't see it coming. AA-12 ATCHISSON Assault Shotgun. Nobody can deny just how cool James Bond looks shooting a pistol from the hip. It's iconic for a reason. But just imagine how much more damage he could have done if he was firing a shotgun from the hip instead. Impossible? Think again. The AA-12 ATCHISSON Assault Shotgun has a specially engineered recoil at just 10% of a normal, so you can fire 5 12-gauge shells from the hip with only one hand. It's effortless and you only need to hold the trigger down for 4 seconds to empty the 20-round drum. And if you're thinking normal bullets just aren't quite cool enough despite this weapon's incredible engineering, don't worry, it can fire grenades too. Its Frag-12 high explosive round, also called a fragmentation grenade, can be fired up to 574 feet with the same unbelievable efficiency as normal bullets. And to top it all off, its brilliant engineers have designed it for use in long-term combat, and tests have shown it can fire up to 9,000 rounds without being cleaned or jamming. This is the weapon you want on your side if you want to win a major battle. The Punisher. Grenades are great, but the problem with grenade launchers is that they don't shoot bullets that can go through something, and your distance has to be precise as well as your aim. That's where the Punisher comes in. More accurately called the MX-25 CDTE system, this airburst grenade launcher uses advanced technology to ensure your grenade is always on target. It uses a laser rangefinder to determine the exact distance to target, allowing you to adjust the distance by up to 10 feet. And then it automatically transmits the distance information to the 25mm grenade in the chamber, so it is programmed to explode in midair when it's at or near the target. But how does the grenade know how far it's traveled? Well, that's where this engineering shows its true brilliance. The Punisher fires grenades so they spin, much like a football when you throw it. The technology inside the grenade can track how far the grenade has traveled by counting the number of rotations it makes while in flight so that it can detonate at precisely the right moment. This makes the grenades much more effective at actually hitting a target that is hidden than a regular grenade, making it a terrifying and formidable weapon that you can't hide from. Electrolaser. The scariest thought in warfare is an enemy taking control of the natural elements. That power is reserved for Greek gods, who could fight nature. Well, you might be surprised to learn that the Picatinny Arsenal in New Jersey can now control lightning. The laser is used to create a plasma channel by heating the air around it, and this plasma can conduct electricity. So they can send a powerful electric current along the plasma channel, just like lightning, but lightning they can aim at a specific target. It even creates a thunderous sonic boom like natural lightning, and it's powerful enough to kill people. They can also use it to disable or even destroy electronic devices, further disabling whoever gets in their way. They can even be shot from an aircraft like a genuine natural lightning bolt, but targeted at something specific. It's a shockingly terrifying weapon, pun intended, that we should all hope never falls into the wrong hands. Armatix Digital Revolver. Objects which only work when their owner is using them sound more like the creation of a wizard than a real-life product, but the Armatix Digital Revolver has brought this technology into the real world. This futuristic handgun can only be fired if the person holding it is also wearing a special wristwatch that has been unlocked with their fingerprints. It's a very effective and pretty cool safety feature because the gun simply won't fire in the hands of someone who isn't allowed to use it. More importantly, it means that it can't be used against its owner. The watch is linked to the gun in other ways too. It can indicate charge levels and count the number of shots in a given time frame, but has much more impressive features as well. It has a time control feature, so you can choose to have the firearm automatically deactivate after a certain time, and even more amazingly, it can be controlled so it will only fire at a recognized or permitted target, and not fire when facing away from that target, so there's no chance of an accident. Many people now believe this is the way of the future. Active Denial System. Just because a weapon is non-lethal doesn't mean it's kind. The US military has been working for a long time on a weapon called the Active Denial System, which is essentially a pain ray. It directs an invisible electromagnetic radiation beam that heats the tiny water molecules on your skin to 130 degrees Fahrenheit from a distance of 500 yards. Although it can lead to painful burns, its purpose is to send the enemy running from the invisible pain, called the goodbye effect by senior military officers. This heat ray is quite controversial for having potentially lethal or permanently damaging effects despite its non-lethal status. Although it could be used as an unusually cruel weapon of torture, it is now undergoing testing as a potentially effective way to disperse crowds or break up riots. You just have to hope nobody using it gets trigger happy. Mayhem. Throughout the last decades, incredible amounts of money have gone into developing the most effective armor possible for both soldiers and military vehicles, but it all might prove useless soon. A new weapon, called MAGNETO HYDRODYNAMIC Explosive Munition, or Mayhem, is being developed, and its purpose is to penetrate enemy armor. Instead of conventional explosively formed penetrators that sometimes pierce armored vehicles, this one is much more effective and much more terrifying. It uses electromagnetic fields created by explosions to shoot molten metal warheads which can pierce through the armor of enemy vehicles before exploding once it's inside. It sounds like something out of a science fiction movie or a Roadrunner cartoon, but these molten metal weapons are now very real and particularly impressive. Adds underwater gun. In action movies, underwater fight scenes always look cool, but those scenes are always slow-moving fistfights and never feature guns unless bullets are flying into the water. That's because most guns don't work when they are full of water. The ADS amphibious rifle might be able to change that because it's designed to fire underwater. Developed by Russia's Tula Instrument Design Bureaus, it uses special underwater 5.45 x 39mm rounds in a 57mm cartridge, which helps the accuracy and range underwater that is usually lacking with other bullets below the surface with lethal effectiveness, and can be accurate at 59 feet in all directions and operated at a depth of 65 feet below the water's surface. You can attach silencers and grenade launchers to it as well, although there's no word yet on how well the grenade launcher works underwater. That probably doesn't matter though, since it's a highly effective weapon out of the water with the ability to fire 700 rounds per minute with a range of 1640 feet, making it a valuable tool to the Russian naval commandos who are already using it. Now they can move from land into the water without losing any of their firepower. Exacto. The one saving grace of being hunted down by a sniper is that most of them, at one time or another, will miss. Nobody's perfect, but now they might not have to be. The Extreme Accuracy Tasked Ordnance, or Exacto, is a rifle that uses smart bullets. In essence, it means that, if the sniper misses his target, the bullets will still find it. It does this by using fire and forget technologies, meaning the bullets won't need guidance to find their target after they've been fired to be able to find their target. Exactly how they've done this is unclear since the technologies they're using inside the bullets are classified, but we do know it relies on a real-time remote optical guidance system. The footage of tests they've conducted is very impressive and pretty terrifying. Shots are intentionally fired off target to demonstrate how the bullets can correct their path and maneuver mid-flight seemingly on their own to stay on target. They go the extra mile as well, showing how even inexperienced shooters using this system can hit moving targets because the bullets can correct their mistakes for them. So, if you are hoping to survive a sniper attack because they're inexperienced, you might be in for a surprise. Those are our top picks for the most futuristic and advanced weapons used by soldiers. Let us know which ones surprised you the most in the comments. And if you liked this video, subscribe to be the first to see the next one. Thanks for watching.